Hello, everyone. On a little early, so we'll just let everyone get some time to sign on, and I'll just poke around for a minute. We had a lot of questions earlier about how to find the lives, so hopefully tonight everyone will be able to see the live. Um, if you're new to lives, then it's kind of like, how do I watch those? Super easy. And it looks like people are joining on, so that's great. So, yes, and I can actually read your comments on my computer tonight. I've been having problems with that, but I think I figured it out. I think I have to post something first. I put like a little dot, a little period. It's really weird. Who knows? These things with computers and stuff. So I hope everyone's. Did I get any of the storms? Yeah, we did. We did last night. We got, or I really don't even remember what time it was. Um, but it just seemed really, really bad. And then like a really bad storm. We were asleep, but I do remember waking up from it. And yeah, the dog did not like it at all. So I had to like hold him the entire time. And so that was basically it. No, nothing bad. Nothing bad here. But it's beautiful right now. It's beautiful out. So I haven't really been outside. It's muggy, but it's not like it's sunny and Jason's on the lake fishing. So yeah, it's normal day. All right, everyone's signing on. So it's that time, 3 a.m. Then yeah, I mean it had to been, you know, whatever time difference between me and you are. Yeah. I don't know, somewhere around in that. I have no idea. Like I said, I didn't even look at the time. I just know the dog was not having it. So I like had him and I was like, all right, asleep. Yeah, it's beautiful. So, well, welcome to Facebook Live Sunday. It is that time again. Um, we are back. Uh, and today we're going to do something a little fun. It was requested because I actually did this on Sewing Machine Plus's Quilt Fest earlier this week. And some people couldn't make it to see it, or I don't know how to rewatch the replays, but they wanted to see the demonstration that I was doing on there. And it's a really cool demonstration. It's something really cool that you can do with IQ Designer, or if you have the Brother Like My Design Center, you can do this. You can also do this if you have Palette 11. So it's just something really fun that I like to do with quilt blocks. I've shown this to you guys before in picture form, but I don't remember ever showing you how to physically do it. I may have at one time, but we're going to do it again. So basically, we're going to take a quilt block that's already pre-made, and we're just going to quilt certain sections of it. And because we have IQ Designer, we can do that, right? We can have a lot of fun with placing certain quilting in certain areas if we want to. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Yeah, Ronnie, I wonder if y'all get any mess up there? Like I said, we didn't get hardly. I mean, we didn't get any like disastrous stuff. We were getting all kind of warnings, but no. So yeah, you're okay, Jackie. You're only 3 hours away. That's So anyway, so yeah, I'll show you my samples. I'll show you the quilt that I did with it. And then yeah, we'll get into it here in just a few moments. Um, one thing I did want to go over because again, questions are being asked like, can I watch this after the fact? You can always watch any of my lives after the fact. I can show you where to go and get those to find them. You can either scroll through the feed, which, is kind of annoying, or you can look under the photos tab or media tab. Depends on what you're watching on. If you're watching on, let's say, an iPad, on an iPad, let's double check, or an iPhone or a mobile, let's say a mobile phone or something like that, you're gonna find it under, yes, you're gonna find it all the replays under photos. I know that sounds weird, but I'm gonna show you on my computer what that looks like. Um, and kind of the same thing for the computer. Hey, Trudy. Tiny bit of a very welcome rain today. Yeah, we got lots of rain last night. I get it, girl. Audio is cutting out. No, hopefully that's not me. Let me double check my sound here. Hopefully that's not. Can I go back a little? I'm checking. It's not cutting out on me. If your audio cuts in and out, what you may want to do is leave the app, like close the Facebook app altogether, and then come back to the group page. Usually it's just a little hiccup. So, okay, good. So yeah, the audio is working fine on my iPad. So let's quickly go over how to find um, previous videos, or like say today's video if you want to rewatch it or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here somehow. There we go. I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to pull up Facebook and Forever BB Louise, where you are at right now watching this fun little demo. Okay, so what you're going to do, yours is going to say if you are on an iPad, an iPhone, or a some sort of phone device or tablet device, yours is going to say photos. On the computer, it says media. But what you're going to look for is photos. So you're going to click on that word, and what you're going to start looking at is if you're going to see the play sign on each of the videos. So you'll be able to tell the difference between a photo and a, let me see if I can just show it to you guys. Let's go back. What I mean. So a play button and then just a regular, let me just get out of here. Let's just get out of here. Let me turn my brightness down. Okay, can you see the little, if I turn it all the way that way, you get it. But can you see the little play button right there? And the play button right there? Those means, those means, that means that that is a video. So if you scroll down, you're going to see play buttons. Those are previous videos, and I have hundreds of them. This goes back, oh gosh, when did we start this, guys? In 2021 or 2022? I cannot remember when we started. Maybe 2020? I can't remember. It was 2020 maybe when we started this. So we have hundreds of videos. So you can just scroll through and find different videos. unfortunately, if you're new to the group, I don't have a whole lot of time. So I was starting to make a list of them all, but unfortunately I got a little behind on that, and it's been probably a year since I've done that. So it would take me forever to get that list back up. But let's see, let me show you, let me get back up there so I can show you guys. But what you can do, if it'll let me, there we go. What you should be able to do is search. You can do it in the iPad. What you can do, I keep saying iPad, but tablet, or let me show you. Let me stop this. What you can do, if you look at your tablet or your iPhone or whatever mobile device that you're using, you should see up in the corner here, and I know it's hard for you to kind of see, but you should see that little search icon. So if I tap on that, that's going to search within the group, not whole of Facebook, but within the group. You have to be within the group to do this. And if I wanted to search, what did I do? If I wanted to search, I don't know, bunny, something with a bunny. So I'm going to type bunny and search. So you can see anything that anyone's typed, the word bunny or rabbits or anything like that, it's going to pull up anything with bunnies. So obviously I talked about bunnies in this video. So it's really intuitive. It's really intuitive. Hop into spring. This was a video that I must have done something with bunnies or Easter or something like that. Like I said, it's Facebook's really intuitive. You just need a keyword. Another good one to pull up that we can pull up together is keychain. I can't remember if that's one word or two, but so, oh, it's not bunny keychain, just keychain. Because we've had classes, or I'm sorry, videos, I've made videos in making keychain. So in IQ Designer. So let me see if I maybe typed it in as 2 words. Aha, here we go. Oh, I hate when it does that. Right here is actual directions for making a keychain in IQ Designer. You would just click on that and the directions will open up. Let's see what else we've got. You can see some other people have made keychains. Let's see if we can find the video. We might have to scroll down. This was, oh my gosh, back in 2020. This was when I was really bad at it. Now I'm bad at videoing, but this is when I was really bad at it. So it says using IQ Designer to make a keychain and ornaments. So it's really kind of easy to find videos, but you just got to kind of search for them. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to rewatch or refine different videos. But let's say you wanted to rewatch tonight's, it's always going to be the first one that's up there. Okay, let me get you guys pulled back up so I can see any questions or anything. Make sure, because I always like to keep a tab on that. Are you going to lose all of your videos from Facebook? I have no idea. I have no idea about that. That's a good question. Cindy asked. I keep seeing people post stuff like that, and I never really believe it until I see it, because there's been so much on Facebook that they say, oh my gosh, Facebook's gonna do this, and it never happens. If it happens, then I'm gonna be really sad, but I might have to figure out how to download videos, but I don't have a lot of computer space, so Unfortunately, I might just be one of those people that's out, but that's a great, what would be cool is if I could take all the videos and move them over to YouTube. So that might be something, Cindy, that I do. If I could figure out how to do that, Facebook is deleting videos over 30 days old. I wonder when they're going to be doing that then. Almost all are moving them to YouTube, like Deb and others. Ask Mike Johns. Okay, I'll ask him. Let's see. Oklahoma's had wildfires? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. Let's see. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be spending some time moving things over to YouTube. That's going to take forever. I wish I could find some young kid that would love to mess around with my YouTube and stuff. It is for each one when they turn 30 days old. So what I'm wondering is when that's going to start, because that was a video from 2020 and it's still here. So that's good. That's good news. So, we'll have to figure that out. Anywho, that's not why you came here today. You came here to learn something, right? Oh, wait, Elizabeth said something interesting. Going forward, you can video on YouTube and Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. That's pretty cool. That would be really good. I use Zoom as a platform because I can switch back and forth on cameras. So March 31st is when that 31st is when they deleted. Ooh, there's been tornadoes. Okay. All right, I'm too busy reading that. Okay. So let's talk about what I'm gonna show you guys today. Um, Today, what I want to show you is how to do something really, really fun. So let's say I have a quilt block or a quilt with a bunch of quilt blocks in it. And I want to do something a little different with the quilting. Maybe I just want to quilt in certain areas. And I am not a free motion quilter. So how am I going to do that with some pretty designs in these certain areas? Just like this little guy right here. Can you see the quilting in the negative space? So in the white, it's actually gray, but it looks white on camera. Can you see that beautiful quilting in there? I'm calling it quilting. Now, because this is a quilt block, but this is the designer fills built into IQ Designer. Now, again, if you have a Brother Like machine, you have the My Design Center. So this is going to be really similar. And you can do something very similar to this. Or actually, you can do this. Now, let me show you how I did, or excuse me, let me show you the quilt that I did this on. Now, I have shown this before. But last week, I think I showed you because we were talking about the birds. Now, I'm going to show you the quilt blocks. So let's zoom in. I can zoom in this way and drag it around. So last week, we talked about how we got the quilting around the birds. This week, we're going to talk about how we get that quilting into just certain areas of the quilt block. Notice that I have no quilting in the blue area or the purple area, just in what I'm calling the negative space, or basically the white areas. So let's look at this one right here. Same thing. Let's look at this one right here. Same thing. All those lighter areas, those are the only areas that are quilted. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, IQ Designer makes me look good. It makes me look like I did that and I didn't. And it just makes me look like I am such a good quilter. I love this quilt. It is hanging up in my I call it studio or quilt layer. It's hanging up and I'm just in awe of it. And it makes me go, did I really do that? I am still surprised I really made this quilt. I love this quilt. Um, so that is what we're going to focus on today is how to do this. And like I said, this past Wednesday, I did a demonstration on this on sewing at Sewing Machines Plus's Quilt Fest. One other thing I want to tell you guys, I don't know if anybody lives in or around Detroit. Um, but in April 3rd through the 5th, I am going to be at the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo with pins and needles in Detroit. So if you're out that way, I would love to meet you. Please come meet me. I want to meet you. I'm going to be in the booth with, like I said, with pins and needles. So come see me. Say hi. I want to meet you. Okay. I'm excited. That happened really quickly. I literally just found out this week that I'm going. So I'm super excited, and I want you to come say hi. Okay. Let me get, that is not what I wanted. Nope, 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 nope. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, Diane, you should come. That's a little bit of a drive from Tallahassee, but so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay. Now I have already, whoa, that that did not work out very well. I have already started one quilt block just for time purposes, but I want you to see, you can see the quilting in there. You see that? Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to be working on, backwards, I'm going to be working on this area right here in front of you so you can see how I did this. Now you can do this on a Destiny. You can do this on your Solaris. You can do this on your Altair. You can do this on your Meridian. The only difference between the Altair Meridian and the Solaris and the Destiny is the Altair Meridian, you're going to have to hoop your material, just like I have mine right here. You are going to open up the IQ positioning app, or if you have a brother machine, the positioning app that goes along with that. You're going to make sure you're using the special hoop that has the markings on it. The markings will be right here. You are going to take a picture of it inside of the app, and you're going to send it over to the machine. And then what you're going to do is the next steps that I show you on the Solaris. So it's pretty easy. Wish you'd come. Our guild sponsors. Dory, you can always suggest that to your quilt guild. Just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all want me to come somewhere? You can always suggest that and have them reach out to me. It's really easy. My email is foreverbblouise@gmail.com. It's super easy. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, you know how to now. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the machine right now, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, exciting. This is one of my favorite things to do, my most favorite things to do. That is the wrong button. If you're new to watching me, I always push the wrong buttons. This is just how it goes. All right, so again, if you are on an Altair or a Meridian or a Destiny, your screen's going to look a little different, but it's going to be the same. And let me go over that, verbally go over that process again with the Altair and the Meridian. What you're going to have to do is you are going to hoop your quilt top. And what I have is I have a piece of, or I have my quilt block, I have a piece of batting and a piece of no-show mesh. And I'll show that on the camera here in just a moment. You're going to hoop it with this special hoop that has the markers on it. You're then going to open up your IQ positioning app. And let me open mine up so I can give you the correct button you're going to push. Let me get that open real quick. So once you open your IQ positioning app, you are going to, okay, all right, honey, stop. you are going to select photo frame for creating design. You will tap that. Mine's not going to let me do anything else. But what you'll do is then hold your camera above the hoop and you will take a picture. And then it will wirelessly send it over to your machine. And Liz says, I have a brother Luminaire XP3. Is that the same as the Solaris? I am not quite sure. Liz, can you use the scanning feature or do you have to use an app to scan? That's my question to you. The Solaris, we're going to use the scanning feature. So if you can use that, which means that we can do everything from the machine without using an app, then yes, it's going to be similar. Okay, so what I have here, let's go ahead and take a look at this up close and personal. Oh, look at that pretty girl. Okay, let me take this off so we can see here. Here's the block. And you can see I've already done some of the quilting just for time purposes. But this is the area I'm going to be working on with you today, right here, right here, right here, and right here. But isn't that just so cool how you can do that? Oh, I just love it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and slide my hoop onto my machine. Again, I have my quilt block hooped with a piece of batting. Now you would have your whole quilt or whatever you want. I'm just doing one block. So you would have batting, and if you wanted to, instead of using no-show mesh, you could put your backing on if you want to. Another thing you can do is put a piece of muslin back there if you have the whole quilt. And why would I do that? If you don't want to see, because there's going to be a lot of tie-offs. If you don't want to see all those tie-offs, you can put muslin on the back, let everything stitch out, and then take your backing piece and just lay it on the back and then bind. I know people are like, oh my gosh, that's kind of sacrilegious. I know it's weird, but actually I do it on almost all my quilts that I do this way. And let's see. Let me see if this one's done that way. I did do it that way. I did it that way. So if we look here, see there is some designer fills right there. You can't see them through here, but I did stitch in the dip right there. So you can see that a lot of times I don't even stitch all the way to the backing. I will put a piece of muslin or I will use some no-show mesh. No-show mesh is an expensive option for a whole quilt. So I would use muslin. Oh, it's the Luminaire has Disney. Ooh, fancy. The video is froze on my screen. Okay, let me double check that. If it's freezing, if you can hear me and you're freezing, what you can do is just back out and come back in. What I mean, back out of Facebook completely? No, I don't see me freezing, but that's okay. All right. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to get our design, or excuse me, the picture of our quilt block up on our screen. And we have to do that by using IQ Designer or the Brother Like My Design Center. So what we're going to do is we're going to select IQ Designer. And again, I am in the Solaris. Your screen may look a little different, but the buttons are going to be the same. And again, the Altair Meridian, you would have had to go ahead and take a picture of your hoop and sent it over before you could start the process. But from here on out, the process is going to be the same. So the first thing you're going to look for is a little leaf. And we're going to tap on that little leaf. And what we want to select next is anything that says image scan. So we're going to select image scan. Now, if you were in an Altair Meridian, you would use the Wi-Fi button to pull up the design. Excuse me, to pull up the quilt block, the picture of the quilt block. You would tap on it. I'm going to pretend here. I'm just pretending. I would tap on it, and the very last thing that I scanned in would be right up at the top here. This is not going to be my quilt block, but it's always going to be the very last thing you scan in is going to be up at the top. But since we are on, if you are on the Destiny or the Solaris or the Brother Like machines, you are just going to select scan and OK. And what's going to happen is the machine is going to take a picture of what's in the hoop. Now, we want to know, we need to see where we're going to be. So we need to take a picture of the hoop. Oh, I see, Mickey. Yeah, I wasn't freezing. I just had a picture up. Yeah, you're right. I was just talking over. Okay. Let me see something here. I don't think my camera or my Facebook's caught up because I'm trying to read your, make sure I can read your question as well as. All right. So now I want you to look at my screen. There's my quilt block. Look at there. That is so cool. Okay, so there's my quilt block, but I'm going to darken it up one. And to darken it up, you're going to see a little range or gauge or whatever you want to call that right here. And so you're going to have a lighter leaf to a darker leaf. Now yours may be down here depending on what machine you're on, but we're just going to darken it up by hitting the darker leaf once. All right, I'm going to use my mouth. There we go. And that way I can really see my areas really, really well. And remember, I had already done all of these other areas. I just want to do this area and these three little triangles right here. So I'm going to zoom in first to about 400. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to use my pan hand to move around and go to those little triangles. I'm going to start with those first. Now on the Altair Meridian, you're going to have a little box up here with a little red box. That's how you maneuver around. You're going to put your finger there and maneuver around the area. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get a boundary of this area to be able to put my pretty stitches in. So I'm going to come to my line properties. This first grouping of 4 icons right here is your line properties. The second grouping of 4 icons are your fill properties. So we're going to go to our line properties. We're going to click this little piece of paper. And we're going to do something a little strange here. The first thing we're going to do is select this little guy right here. We're going to select that little zigzag guy, and I'll explain him in just a minute. But instead of having a type of a stitching line, we're actually going to create a boundary line that does not stitch out. So we're going to come to the no sew option right here. So I want you to click on that and then say OK. This is going to create a line, but it will not stitch out. It'll make more sense when we go to use the fill option. All right, so we have our drawing line selected and we have our stitch type selected, which we're doing no sew option. Now, in order for me to make this, only this area right here have the fill, I've got to draw a triangle. So I am using a wired mouse. And to me, that just works the best. But you can use your fingers. We can use our fingers if we want, and you can see the line there. You can use a stylus if you want, something like this. These are wonderful. I got this at Gloria Horn. Absolutely love this stylus. I love that it has the plastic tip on the end. But I'm most comfortable with a wired mouse. And I got this at Amazon for like, I don't know, $10, something like that. I don't remember. I got it so long ago. So I'm going to start up here at the corner and I'm going to left click and hold. And I'm going to draw a line down to the other corner and then let go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just basically drawing a triangle. I'm going to draw it again. Now, do you see that red line? That's keeping all the lines together. Okay, so I'm going to draw to there. And now I don't even have to draw next. I only have 3 sides to a triangle. So I can come up here to this red box and click in it, and it'll close my line. Now let me lighten that up and show you. I just drew a triangle. That is what this little zigzag guide does. It allows me to draw and keep the lines together, if that makes sense. Versus if I go and get the regular line, I have to go like this and try to close them off perfectly. This one will close off on its own, which is really nice. I love that. Now I'm going to erase these. And go select my line again. And I'm going to brighten it back up so I can see my next triangle. I'm going to use my pan hand to move down and come to this next triangle. So I'm going to draw again. I need to make sure that's highlighted. And I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to come all the way down. And then I'm going to come across. And then I'm going to tap up in the little box to close it off. Then I'm going to grab my hand and I'm going to move over and I'm going to do this one. Now, I think my screen needs to be calibrated because I have a little bit of a whoop whoop there. So don't mind that right there. I need to take her in and get her calibrated. But I'm just going to draw my line. And then I'm going to come over here and then close it off. All right, so now I'm going to zoom out to about 200%. Oops, did not mean to do that. I need to get my hand because now I need to do this rectangle right here. Same thing. I'm going to grab this line. And remember, if it's blue, if I tap something and it turns blue, that means it's selected. So I'm going to trace, or I guess you could call it trace, inside this box here, or excuse me, this rectangle here. So I'll put a line there. I'll come down. I'll come across. And then I'll tap in here. And let's lighten it up so we can see. Those are the 4 areas that I'm going to put my fills in. All done. But I'm going to brighten it up so we can see what's happening. Now I'm ready for I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Now I'm ready for my fills or my pretty quilting. Let me make sure there are no comments that I'm missing. Nope. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So for our fill properties, we want to come in here to our to this grouping of 4 icons on this little piece of paper. And we have some options. So this first little button here is a solid fill. So just like a full solid fill. The second one here is a stipple. This third one is where you're going to find your fancy fill. That's what I call them, your pretty fancy fill. And when you select that, it has like little bubbles in it. Select that, you're going to get a box that says select. So we're going to select. And here are all your fills. Now, depending on what machine you have, is depends on how many fills you actually have. So I have Solaris upgraded to version 3, so I have all 48. But the one that I chose was number 29. So I'm going to tap on her and then say okay. And I'm going to select a color because you don't know me. I do not like the color red, so I'm going to change it to color pink and then say okay. And now what I have to do in order to use the fill, I have to turn on this little bucket right here. So I'm going to tap it, and what did it do? It turned blue. So that means it's activated. I'm going to lighten this up to where I can see my lines, or excuse me, see my rectangle and my 3 triangles. And I'm going to tap inside of them. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And guess what? Guess what I just did? I just created my own quilting. That easy. Now, the next thing we're going to do is select next. Now, on the Solaris, what will happen is it's going to show you real time the size. On the Altair Meridian, you have to select preview OK to see the size, see what it actually looks like. If you don't like the actual size, you are going to hit return. Now, if you're on a Solaris, you are fine where you're at. You can go ahead and start playing. Now, I left this one the actual size, actual 100%. But if you wanted to change the actual size of the fill, you can go up to 200% or down to 50% smaller. The other thing I want you to do is to make sure that the outline is off. We do not want the outline on. We want the outline off. So it automatically comes on in the Altair Meridian. So you're going to look for a button that says, it's going to look like this. And it's going to be right down here. It's going to be down at the bottom and it's going to say on. I want you to click that and tell it to be off. We want the outline off. I'll say it one more time. We want the outline off. It just looks better, I promise. Usually I tell you to leave the outline on, but for this time, we're leaving it off. Okay. So since I'm not changing the size or anything, I'm good to go. So when I'm happy with this, all I have to do is hit set OK. Now, for you Altair and your Meridian owners, you're going to have preview OK. You're going to check it, make sure you like that size. And if you're happy with it, you're going to hit set OK. And that's what's going to stitch out. So now we're going to go to embroidery. And we're going to stitch this stuff out right now. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and all I'm going to do is push start, and here we go. So this is going to take, it says 2 minutes. Yes, you can always rewatch any of the videos. At the beginning of this video, I did explain how you can. You can just go look in the actual photos tab to find the previous videos. This one will be posted in the top spot. So absolutely, you can always rewatch this at any time you would like. And that is late. So yes, I get it, girl. So yes, Mickey, you can use your paintbrush to fill those areas if you like. I just like using the bucket because it's a lot faster. But if you have small areas or you want to really get in there, you can use the paintbrush, absolutely. Yep, and you can always use the eraser to clean it up. That's so right. Now I want y'all to look at how perfect that fit in there. What? I tell you, IQ Designer makes me look good. It makes me look so good. These are some good questions y'all have tonight. We're moving on to the last one. How does it work with if you have a whole quilt, not just a square? It just takes a lot of time, Deborah. That's how I did that one quilt in the beginning that I showed you. It was all one quilt. It was all sewn together. Um, you just you want to have a backing on there, and I wouldn't use no-show mesh just because it's an expensive option. So you would just move on when you're done with one block, you'd move on to the next block. So Liz says she's new here. Where are the videos? The videos are going to be under the photos tab, or if you're on a computer, it's going to be under the media tab. So I know it sounds weird under the photos tab, but all the media, meaning photos or videos, anything like that, are going to be under the photos tab. They are not labeled because unfortunately I have a full-time job and I just don't have time to label or make like a list for you. But you can always rewatch them. Guys, guess what? That's how quick it was. And look how perfect it fit in. I surprised myself every single time. Hooping a little at a time, Deborah asked. Yeah, you can use your large hoop. If you have a Solaris, you have a 10 5/8 by a 16-inch hoop. Did I say that right? And if you have an Altair Meridian, you have a 9.5 by 14-inch. So you can hoop as much as you can and get done as much as you can. Because if you can scan all of that, then yep. You can do a dime magnetic hoop. Yep, you can do that. But the hoops that came with you, Deborah says, Destiny, I can't remember what size. That might be the 9.5 by 14-inch hoop. Whatever size hoop is the largest for the Destiny. Oh, thanks, Diane. I was hoping to see you yesterday for some reason. I was up at BC and I was just kind of hoping you'd come in, but hoping you would take my class too. By the way, Diane, my birdhouse class. It's not. I'm not forcing you or anything, but help a sister out. I would Dory, I would actually have the whole quilt already pre-done. This is just one block that is mostly for demonstration. Let me put this back. Oh goodness. Let me put this back on myself. So this is just for demonstration, this one block wonder here. If you were going to do a whole quilt, I would have the whole quilt already done. So the whole top. Then I would put a piece of batting on the back of it. And then this is what I like to do. I would use a piece of muslin on the back. Unless you want to see the quilting on the back, but here's the thing. This does a ton of tie-offs. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but see all the tie-offs that it does? It's really not pretty quilting on the back. So I put a piece of muslin on the back. I do all the fill work. And then I take my pretty backing and put on the back. Now you can stitch in the ditch if you want or whatever, or you do not even have to, you can just 505 it. You can just spray adhesive it to the back. Or you can just do little tacks throughout the quilt to tack the back to it. I know the quilt police are probably going to get me, but we're so used to having everything be quilt, batting, quilt backing, and quilted all the way through. But I don't always do that. I don't always do that. You were hoping you could put them together, yeah. You could do this as a quilt as you go. Yeah, you could. I mean, you can, you know what, y'all can do, you could do it any way. Now, would this be cute as a rag quilt? Yeah, because you could put a backing on here when you're done and just cut out, leaving, I put borders on this, but leaving, what, a half an inch around and each block and do like a rag quilt type of quilt. You could do it like you as a quilt as you go, where you still stitch the blocks together like as a normal way, and then put a backing on and then stitch in the ditch. Like Pat said, um, you could totally do it that way if you wanted to do one black block at a time. Absolutely. Absolutely. But this one, let's take a look at this one again. This one was all done as one quilt top, and then I went in and did all the work for these. For these. These were done beforehand, but these were done after, if that makes sense. I made these and then sewed them in, and I didn't quilt. I keep calling it quilting, but I mean, it pretty much is quilting. I didn't quilt these until everything was put together. So pretty. I get so proud of myself sometimes. I love what I do. I am a lucky girl. I think a rag quilt would be so cute. I love rag quilts, and this would be really fun, wouldn't it? It would be really, really, really cute. Yep, you can do everything in the hoop. Absolutely, you could do it all in the hoop. With that one, where the birds are, I would leave the blocks obviously blank, the bird blocks blank, and then stitch them out in the hoop. You could do that. You can do everything in the hoop if you want to. And that one would take a little more practice because you got to get them you got to get the square perfectly square. But I mean, I got these perfectly rectangled and perfectly triangled. And even if a thread comes up a little bit onto the fabric like this did right here, you can't see it from here, but a little thread got a little up there. Do you think I'm going to care about that? No, I'm not. That doesn't bother me at all. That's just that's going to happen. Well, thank you, Kippy. I'm lucky to have you. So, any questions? Any questions on this? This is a really fun technique, and I really think this one has two different fills. So it's got, let's hold it up. So right here's got a different fill, and then this one's got a different fill. It's a really fun technique. Luckily, quilt police, I don't, the quilt police. Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel about them. I feel like the quilt police aren't having fun, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to say, that's the only thing I'm going to say about the quilt police. They're just not having any fun in life. What foot was I using? For the embroidery, just the embroidery foot. Yeah, Deborah, if that's what you're asking. Just the embroidery foot that goes on the machine for regular embroidery. Trudy, let me see. Let me look that up. That's a good question. Trudy asks, do you find the magnetic hoops work well with wash away stabilizer? I'm going to have anybody in the group answer that because I've never used the magnetic hoops with wash away stabilizer. I just recently got magnetic hoops, to be honest with you. I just recently got one of the dime hoops and one of the baby lock hoops, and I've only used them for like uh either towels or like holding the quilts. So that's a really good question. So if anyone wants to chime in about that, that's a great question. Exactly, Mickey. Your friends aren't going to know that you made a mistake. Non-quilters will never know. I love using my magnetic. Oh, Brenda, you know, these machines seem scary, um, but one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is use the manual. Treat it like a workbook. So, start with the first page and touch every button it tells you. So if it says, this is the start button, put your finger on the start button. Or if it says, this is my design center, put your finger on that. Put your finger on everything that it tells you that it says. And that's how I learned. Um, it they do seem scary, but we're lucky in the sense that there are groups like this. And since they are similar to what you have, that are here to help you learn. So stick around with me, girl. I'll help you learn it. Brenda says she has used a magnetic hoop and did 50 flour sack towels using wash away, no problem. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. So people who call out mistakes are not your friends. Okay. They are not your friends. And you don't need them in your life. You don't need that nastiness in your life. Just, oh, freestanding lace. Oh, here we go. Kathy says she's made 100 freestanding lace Christmas ornaments and magnetic hoops with no problem. That's a lot. Girl, that's a lot. That's awesome. That that's really awesome. So so Kathy says she's done it, Trudy. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of hope. We were meant to make mistakes. I agree. We're only peoples. We're only peoples. Okay, so let's see. Any questions about what we just did? I got itchy nose first. I bet it did take several days. I can only imagine. But I bet they were beautiful. Wow. 300 to 400 four-leaf clovers for the same bridal shower as the flower size. So yeah, they're saying that they're using magnetic hoops for freestanding lace, so or freestanding designs. So I would say you could use it. If it doesn't feel like it's holding them strong enough, maybe double up on the wash away, meaning like do 2 layers of wash away. Right, Kathy? For that type of stuff, I'm okay with using pre-round. I agree. I normally don't, but I'm okay with that. You're welcome, Sybil. I have a lot. Yeah. Now I have a meridian here too, so I do show things on that as well. So, and it's a meridian too, so keep an eye out for that as well. I try to switch back and forth between them two, and sometimes I just don't get to it as like I should. So, yeah, two layers moving them in different directions. That's right. Yeah, you put one going this way and one going this way. That's right. That makes it stronger. Okay, well, if we don't have any questions, then I'm gonna hop off, but I hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions in the meantime, just post it up in the group, or you can send me a message, or you can send me an email at foreverbblouise@gmail.com. If you are going to be in Detroit, April the 3rd through the 5th. Yeah, 3rd through the 5th. Please come see me at the original quilt and no, original sewing and quilt expo. I'm trying to get it right with pins and needles. I'd love to see you guys and meet you in person. Who is Louise? Who is Louise? Oh, good question. Louise was my nanny, my grandma. So yeah. So she was that had a big impression on my life. And the BB is for my mom. Her first name is Beverly. So the B. And so my sister's middle name is Louise. And my great niece, her middle name is Louise too. So there's a lot of Louises in our family. Very special name to us just because of our nanny. So thanks for asking. I get called Louise a lot because of it, but it's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. So, all right. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Remember to always shop local, shop small, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. All right. Bye, everyone.